I have worked my whole life since I was 8. I never imagined that I would be living on the street, but I have no options. There's nowhere else to go. I'm Marcy Chrisley, and I am an environmental specialist. I work for a consulting firm at NASA.
I'm Dennis Chrisley. I guess I'm unemployed. I'm working in film and learning film right now and writing. So
we've rented the whole time we've been here until recently. The rent has gone so high that we figured the only way we were going to ever get ahead would be to live in an RV. And we pictured it parked at an RV lot and hooked up to power and, you know, have a place to always have it parked. And that was kind of the goal, is just live in it for a couple of years to save up. The reality was that there's nowhere to park it. There are very few RV lots, very few places that you can go and actually hook up and pay a monthly rent for a space. So we just ended up on the street, so there's nowhere else.
Yeah, in the past 4 years has been a tremendous increase in demand. When I first started here, we probably had an 80 to 85% occupancy rate, and now we're at 100% all the time. In fact, I can't even maintain a waiting list because when something opens, it's usually taken sometimes within minutes, but certainly within the same day that it opens.
So, ostensibly, if you're living on the street, everything is complicated. Everything gets more complicated, like even cooking, everything.
Even just to turn on the water, you have to hit a button first and hope you have enough battery to run your pump.
And then that doesn't even bring up the issues of how secure you feel. You know, if you have people walking by your place and you can hear exactly what they're saying, sometimes not good things, but that enters into it too, because you're basically, you know, a foot away from a sidewalk, and that's where you're sleeping.
Almost 400 square feet that is semi-private. You know, people walk by, we can hear them. We know they can hear us. There's no privacy other than what we can construct for ourselves. As you know, it's more of an imaginary privacy, because everyone knows your business when you're parked on the street, no matter what's going on.
But you know, not everybody is broke or lazy or mentally ill, or some people are just unwilling to pay that much to live somewhere.
Most of the people we've talked to are families, and they have children, and I'm not sure how many jobs they have, but they do work. I see people go off to work every day. I see, you know, the same cars parked in the, you know, nearby or in the nearby parking lot. They leave every day about the same time as me, come home about the same time as me. So there are a few people there that have, you know, they're just living out of their car and they have nowhere else to go. Not sure if they work or not, but most of the people we've talked to have jobs.
Yeah, I think it's better because there's a lot of families who live in RVs and they need something for their kids or for their own. All people, maybe they're gonna leave, look for another places. It's too expensive over here. Well, it's not great because, like, I had 3 daughters. They want to be like, have their own space to play, like that. But in here, they cannot do that because the space is too small.
And I do feel lucky that, you know, our RV is about the size of a typical studio.
Yeah.
And I look at our RV and I look at you know, ads on Craigslist or ads on, you know, anywhere looking for apartments when I get really tired of where we're at. And for the size of my RV, they're asking $4,000 a month. So, and it's not just Mountain View; it's the Bay Area. Everywhere.
I just moved here from Minneapolis, so it's a culture shock for sure. I had a home. I had a 4-bedroom home, and the nicest suburb in Minneapolis, and I pay more than twice that for a 2-bedroom apartment. So I have mixed feelings. You know, I feel sorry for the people that are there, but it's kind of, we pay a ton of rent to live in our building, so it's kind of, there's like a lot of garbage and kind of stuff around. So
You know, I am an environmental specialist, so I specialize in stormwater. So I know a lot of people, they have no other options, and so they do dump into the storm drain, which goes directly into San Francisco Bay. It does not get cleaned or filtered. It's raw sewage flowing into San Francisco Bay. The reason they dump is they can't drive to one of the 2 dump stations in the Bay Area. The one in Redwood City, they charge $20 to dump, and they're only open during business hours. I think it's also, I mean, there's the RV dwellers is one issue, and the homeless is one issue, but I think that the rent issue is important too, because you're going to have more and more homeless. You have more and more middle-class people are going to be homeless as the rent increases. I dreamt about having my salary growing up. I was like, someday I'll make that much money. I had no idea that I would still be right above the poverty line, so, considering where I'm living.